Alright, hold on. That has to be like the new catchphrase. It's picking up out there. Alrighty. Right. Hold on. Alright guys, we're almost done. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. What is the scariest thing for a college student? Going to prison or getting in trouble, such as with alcohol or other things such as drugs. But why is it such a scary place? Isn't it supposed to help them realize what they did wrong in order to change them? I believe that prisons in America need to change because many prisoners that get out commit the same crimes and they get arrested again. This is an important topic because there are many prisons all over America, and even if you don't specifically go to prison, there will always be people committing crimes in prison. Today I will be talking about the conditions inside of prisons and how they need to change to better the prisoners. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay. The conditions that prisoners live in today are very inhumane. The prisons are max capacity because America has so many people in prison. Each room is full, and many of them are overpacked. Also, many of the rooms they stay in are dirty and cramped. In the article by the American Civil Liberties Union, they state prison overcrowding leads to increased violence, the inability to provide necessary medical care and other essential services, and degrading practices like requiring prisoners to sleep on the floor. Many prisoners and jail expose prisoners to dangerous environmental conditions and lack of basic sanitation. Such as these pictures, you can see you obviously would not want to eat this, or you probably wouldn't want to sleep in that room with another person and go to the bathroom right next to them. So this basically shows that it's very inhumane, and pretty much everyone knows how inhumane it is, but nobody wants to fix it. Many prisoners hate prison so much that they would even end their lives just to get out of it. Also, the food is not nutritional and often cold and very old, so they use old food. In the scholarly article by Michael McCurgan, he states, lack of food regulation in prisons could lead to cognizable and verifiable health risks to the inmates housed in the facilities. This basically shows that the food is causing health problems and will continue to unless we finally make like laws to change this. Next slide. So the next thing I'll be talking about is each prison has their own set of specific punishments, and none of them are really the same. So the punishments include taking away their free time activities, beating them, or letting them get beat by other prisoners, like knowing that they are and won't do anything about it, or taking away their visitation, or isolating them from all other people. In the 2019 article by Jeremiah Wade Olson, he states, inmates must stay in solitary confinement cells 23 hours a day. These inmates often have little to no human contact for weeks, months, or even years at a time. Solitary confinement can lead to a variety of mental illnesses. So basically, they put these prisoners in these tiny cells. Oh wait, next slide. Oh wait. Oh yeah, okay. So they put these prisoners in these tiny cells and they just let them sit there for years at a time, just thinking, and they can't really do anything else. Next slide. The United States also has the worst rate of prisoners in the whole world. According to the 2019 article by Jeremiah Wade Olson, he states, the United States has the highest per capita incarceration rates and the largest total population of imprisoned individuals in the world. In 2014, an estimated 1.5 million adults were incarcerated. Oh wait, next slide. Okay. Were incarcerated in either state or federal prison. Nearly 7 million adults were under some form of correctional supervision, including incarceration, probation, or parole. So basically, these are what the prisons look like, and they sleep like pretty much like a couple inches from each one, and it shouldn't be like that, especially in the United States, since we have so many prisoners. We have to do something in order to change this. Next slide. Now I'm going to give you a few ways that the prison system should change in order to benefit the prisoners. In the United States, many owners of the prisons only want to make a lot of money off of the people that come in. So instead of them just making the money, they should utilize the money from the income that they get in to spend it back on the prisons and like making better food and probably paying the prison guards more so that they'll actually do something. In the 2018 article by David Prawl, he states, by the very nature of the exercise, there is an incentive for companies to cut costs or cut corners to maximize profits. While this might be okay in certain cases, we're talking about human lives here. To cut costs, facilities have been poorly maintained, understaffed, and inmates' human rights have been violated. So basically, they're using this money that they gain for their own profit, and so they're basically like monopolies, and they're so rich, but they won't help the things that they've created. Like, the prisoners are stuck in these conditions and they can't really do anything about it because no one will listen to them. Next slide. Another thing that needs to be changed is, so when prisoners are released, they don't have anywhere to go and they don't have any money, and it's hard for prisoners to get jobs nowadays because even college students can't get jobs nowadays. So we need to make it so that when they get out, they have a place to go and can start their lives off without having, like, when we release them and we don't give them any of these resources, we're just setting them up for failure and to recommit a crime and get back in prison. Next slide. Next slide. Lastly, another thing is that a lot of people in prison are there because of drugs and they're addicted to drugs. So I believe that we should put them in rehabilitation centers in order to fix their problems so that they won't, like when they're put in jails, it's not really fixing their drug problem. So, because you can also, another thing corrupt with the prison system is that drugs get in. So basically, if you're addicted to drugs, it's not going to help you by putting you in prison. So if you get put in rehabilitation centers, it will help you to fix the problem. So when you're finally released, you won't commit the same crime. Next slide. Oh wait, that's it. In conclusion, we need to change how the prisons are run, and because of now they're horrible places to be and are not trying to benefit the prisoners at all. We need to change how the money is spent, and we need to help them get back into the real world and put them in rehabilitation centers to help them. Okay, whatever.